plan on doing this, man? Like, how do you plan on like achieving this when you have 8 billion people? You don't like people will go crazy over this stuff, man. Like, I don't know. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, it's a very it's like when you have so much money, like when you're nearly going to be worth a trillionaire, or you're like have so much money that people worship you for having money, but them not actually doing anything to help the middle class or people, then how? I mean, I think they come up with this idea like we can do this. Hi guys, welcome to another segment that I'm following up with a couple of videos I've been sent, and I want to go over a couple of videos that I've come across. And another topic that I want to talk about would be the Technocrat. It's a little bit of a conspiracy theory, but it's kind of like linked in with Project 2025. And, I want to dive a little deeper into it, just to get, guys to kind of think about what's going on, what's the situation, why things are unfolding in the world as the way it is. And it's pretty intriguing. It kind of gets my mind kind of like pushes my brain to think a little deeper. I don't want to I didn't really get into this kind of stuff. The more I looked at it, it's more like, wow, man, this thing's making sense. So I think the whole world is kind of like in a situation where anything can happen with what happened in Venezuela, which we talked about in the News on Some More podcast. Definitely go to the channel, check it out. Luis came and talked to me in that podcast. We went a little back and forth. It was a great way to kind of understand, what a Venezuelan thinks, right, in the U.S., what is his mindset, or what is his family talking about, and so on and so forth, right? So you get a perspective from there in that podcast. So just give it a watch. Don't forget to subscribe to that channel, the News Nonsense and More channel. The NNM team works really hard, and we release a podcast episode every week, and that's kind of what we've been doing. That's where I'm kind of like the most active, but now I'm trying to build something over here as well. So don't forget to also subscribe to Talk to Shashank, because it's your boy Shashank, aka Sean, aka Sushi. Pick one, and we want to talk about what in the world is going on, right? So first, a couple of things is Iran's also prepping for a war accordingly, because they feel like they're fearing that there might be an attack, because this last year was just crazy overall, and I feel like it's getting crazier now too. But Sneeko, ever since he converted, he's kind of in this whole he's trying to debunk everything, from every aspect of how Muslims are being treated, the Islamophobia, and just the fact that he is, I guess he's turned from the red pill movement to kind of like a babyface, you could say, wrestling terminologies. But he has a video over here. Hopefully I don't get I don't have a copyright strike for this, but here, let me just pull it up over here, and you can transition in, and I'll play the video.
They throw rocks at people and women are put in a cage.
Hi everyone, this is Syrian Girl, and I'm shopping in Iran's capital Tehran with a beautiful Iranian guide, just to show how much propaganda there is about women's life here to promote regime change.
Yeah, they put women in cages. They have to be cloaked. It's not a choice. They're oppressed.
He's putting
They're
his own
oppressed. We need
spin on it, right?
more women with OnlyFans. We need more girls on TikTok doing dances. More beauty pageants for children.
It's really cool. Let's go to the store that has music.
She's actually in Iran, not like that picture going around of the girl smoking a cigarette off of a picture of Mahani burning. That was in Canada. That was in Canada. This is actually Iran.
So yeah, there was actually a viral video that was going on in the internet. This girl was burning a picture of the leader of Iran, and they made it seem like it was happening in Iran, but that girl was actually from Canada. There are some reports it was from a different state within the U.S., but it's actually from Canada. But yeah, that's just one of the things how social media kind of works out, the propaganda, what gets pushed. Again, it goes back to what I say about social media, man. You just can't believe everything. You have to take a step back and really be able to do your own research, because people are posting stuff all over the internet. And it's very hard for companies to like kind of like stop all that, right? Because they still need to make money at the end of the day. But ultimately, it goes to show. It goes to show. I mean, but but then again, sentiments are always different, right? There's always going to be a two-party system. There's always going to be people who don't like the regime of Iran. I'm not saying Iran is any better, anyways. The regime in its all. I mean, it's not my cup of tea. I wouldn't want to live there. But then again, I'm more about like, hey, we need to make America better. So I don't think there is any like purpose for us being there. I mean, they're just kind of doing their own thing. Let them be, that's what I think. Like, why would you, they're not like doing anything. And if people are really concerned about that, like we're doing crazy ass shit too as a country. I mean, ever since the Iraq war, like a war in Afghanistan back in 2001, like it's just been worse in that sense. Like we've just been spending so much taxpayer money. Like it could have been used for so much infrastructure and so much like benefit for the American people here. But, those are just opinions. They
were promising on the spot.
Oh, here is another video. This is actually pretty insane. So this journalist Laura Jadid was hired by ICE after a 6-minute interview. So let's kind of give this a listen, and you'll be able to see. And I cannot speed it up for the life of me. I have to figure this out on TikTok. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted, but she basically says over here, journalist Jadid was hired as an ICE deportation officer after a 6-minute interview at a job fair in Texas, despite never signing any paperwork, not having completed a background check, likely failing a drug test, because she openly said that she was smoking marijuana and publicly sharing her opposition to the Trump administration and its anti-immigrant crackdown. So
hiring to where you could, in fact, walk out with your $50,000 bonus that day, possibly. I went in, I handed in my resume, which was, I did a skills-based resume. I'm a veteran. I served 2 tours in Afghanistan. So on the surface, the resume looked pretty good. Had a very brief interview, took off.
So, yeah, I mean, if you guys want to kind of hear the whole thing, I listened to it. It's kind of insane how, like, hey, man, if you want to go be an ICE agent, it just takes you 6 minutes. You just got to, like, have a pretty decent resume, I guess, and be able to do sit-ups, according to some people. But, that's kind of crazy, man. Like, you can just, like, you could just do whatever it is. And someone sent me this funny video. Again, I don't have any, like, affiliation to this, but it is kind of funny. So we're going to go check this out. Give me a second.
Excuse me?
Okay. I'm going to pause it over here. So basically, what's happening is... So this woman distracted ICE agents for a few seconds, and a young man got in his car and escaped. So basically, you can see over here that ICE agents are here. They have this kid, kind of like being detained. So she comes in and says,
I have on my business that you guys.
We're not inside that.
Even. Excuse me. I have on my business that you guys.
We're not inside that.
Even.
how can you
Excuse me. I have on my business that you guys.
We're not inside that.
Even.
And like, bro. What do you say to that? What do you say to that, dude? That is so freaking hilarious. So I just wanted to start off by like reacting to those 3 videos and sharing it with you guys. But maybe apply to be an ICE agent. You get a bonus. You get a $50,000 bonus. So, maybe we can change the way how things are done. I'm just joking. I don't know. And if anybody wants to be an ICE agent, I don't think anybody would want to be an ICE agent in this climate. I think it was just, I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyways, I did come across something as well. So I was going on Ground News, and this article kind of like popped up, and it was updated about an hour ago. And this is mostly from the left has been reporting, so has the right, and also center. So it's got pretty decent. And it says over here, on January 14th, the Kingdom of Denmark began deploying an advanced command to Greenland from today, sending aircraft, vessels, and soldiers from Danish army units to strengthen defense. President Donald Trump repeated comments that the U.S. must acquire Greenland, prompted Denmark and Greenland to reject sales proposals, citing the island's strategic location and mineral resources. Defense Minister Troels Lund Poulsen said, security in the Arctic is of crucial importance to the Kingdom, Denmark, and our Arctic allies. And this is therefore important that we, in close cooperation with allies, further strengthen our ability to operate in the region, as France plans to consulate opening at February 6th in Swedish officers prepare for exercises, officials stated. Danish and Greenland ministers will hold talks in Washington on Wednesday with J.D. Vance, U.S. Vice President, and Marco Rubio, U.S. Secretary of State, and Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen warned a U.S. attack would end NATO. That is very, 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 very troublesome, because that will literally undermine the international community, and we'll have no more allies left. And this is grounds for a world war, dude. That's the only thing I can think of. If you look at the left side, there's a high factuality over here. So this is from. If we look at this, let's accept it. So this is it's in a different language. Will it translate it for me? Translate, bam. Yes, language, English. Will they do it? Didn't do it. Let's close that out. Okay, this is another one. High factuality. Let's see this. Okay. So this is from Intelligence and New World Economy. Europe steps up its Greenland military presence amid Trump pressure. Denmark and allied European countries are sending troops to Greenland as President Donald Trump pushes for a U.S. takeover of the autonomous territory. The increased military presence comes from Greenlandic and Danish ministers said that fundamental disagreements remains with Washington after frank conversation with top U.S. officials in the White House on Wednesday. They agreed to create a high-level group to discuss Denmark Greenland's future as Europe scrambles for deals and lean towards conciliation over confrontation with Trump, Politico wrote. Trump has demanded Denmark eradicate Russian and Chinese influence in the Arctic while he overstayed their Greenland presence. Danish intelligence such as Beijing and Moscow are looking to expand activities there. So, yeah, man, I don't know. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look this. And if you look at the right, it says high factuality. Okay, here's Denmark. This is from the right as well. So breaking defense. Denmark will also Greenland forcing close collaboration with NATO allies. So as a part of increased presence in Arctic and North Atlantic, Danish armed forces are deploying capacities and units in connection with exercise activities from today, said the Danish Minister of Defense in a statement. In Belfast, Denmark said its defense forces in and close to Greenland will be increased from today in partnership with NATO allies. The move that Copenhagen says it is in response to security tensions spreading to the Arctic comes after days of rhetoric from Trump administration focused on acquiring Greenland and semi-autonomous island that sits within the Kingdom of Denmark. So this is also from a right-leaning, man, I don't even know what to say. And then the center kind of like says the same exact thing too. So, there's a lot of reporting over there that shows that, this is not a good thing. Like if we go into war with Denmark, we are literally going against NATO, which we are a part of. And what does that do for the United States? Where do we stand at that point in time? You know what I mean? I mean, this is like no war verbiage not actually turning out to be a no war verbiage. I don't know, man. It's just but you know what? This kind of takes me to a different topic. I was talking on in the Venezuela podcast with Luis about what the idea of technocracy is. So I don't know if you guys kind of understand what it is. So basically, if I just Google what Technocrat is, right? Just to give you guys an idea. Let's see. All right. So here, let me show you. So the Google definition: a technocrat is an expert, like scientist, engineer, who uses specialized knowledge to make decisions, often in government industry, favoring practical, data-driven solutions over politics or public opinion. With the broader concept technocracy, advocating for rule by such experts to solve societal problems efficiently through, though it raises concerns about democracy and individual freedom. So what I get from that, it pretty much states that there is going to be no democracy. It's whatever they deem, whatever they do their research on, that is what they say. You kind of live in this society and you do what you're told. And if you go down here, even Google also taught a core principle of technocracy: rule by expert, problem solution mindset, believes complex societal issues can be resolved with applied technology and expertise. Efficiency aims to optimize system and resource allocation. Anti-political, often skeptical traditional politician political processes, viewing them as inefficient. So anybody who says like politics is not good, democracy is not good, I mean, right then and there, like, what kind of guarantee can you give to that kind of leader? That's just a dictator at that point in time, right? If everybody didn't see color, everybody didn't see race, everybody didn't see class, then maybe it would work. But no, I don't think so. It doesn't work like that in this day and age. And if you look at technocracy versus democracy, democracy is ruled by the people, often through elected representatives valuing public input. Technocracy ruled by experts valuing technical proficiency, data-driven outcomes, often sidelining popular will. So that's not a good thing, right? For the normal man, if you guys think about it. And that made me kind of research it a little bit more, right? So I went to see this map, right? So it's a historical map, a rare 1940 map depicting the geopolitical program of Technocracy incorporated at a time of an influential organization fueled by a depression-era anxiety, quack economics, isolationism, and more than a scoop common fashion. So it comes from the core ideology is fascism, right? After the Second World War. And just to show you the map, you can see Greenland, you can see Canada, you can see the United States, you can see Mexico, then you can see Venezuela and Colombia. These are the maps that dictate the Technate state of America, which is insane. Just to make it bigger, this is what it is. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, this is what they want as America. This is like kind of crazy that, he was calling Canada 51st state. He wanted to invade Mexico. And this is kind of like the Hawaiian island. Like, look at the border. The border is like this. All this land from here to here belongs to the Technate state of America. So, and then I did a little bit extra research. So, I told you, right, in the 1930s. So, Elon Musk's maternal grandfather. No, before I get to that. So, this is all happening in Project 2025, which is kind of crazy. This is not me saying, this is what Google and everybody else is saying, and a lot of people are talking about it. So, it says the term Technocrat project used by some media outlets and critics to describe different initiatives primarily. Project 2025. This is a conservative initiative led by the Heritage Foundation to reshape the U.S. federal government, which critics labels as technocratic due to its focus on consolidating executive power and staffing the government with loyal experts to dismantle administrative state. Key individuals involved in pushing the element of this project include Russell Vought, a primary architect of Project 25 policy plans and the current director of Office of Management and Budget in the Trump administration. Vought is often described in media as a technocrat or shadow president behind the operational changes. Crazy. Kevin Roberts, the president of the Heritage Foundation, who assumed leadership of Project 2025 and has publicly advocated for its goals. Paul Dans, a former director of Project 25 who helped oversee the project. Over 100 conservative organizations contributed to the project policy document mandate for leadership. Technology-focused governments. Other commentators use the term to describe a push by certain tech billionaires to influence the government with technology-driven efficiency models, with some critics describe as a form of techno-authoritarianism. Excuse my pronunciation. My mouth is getting dry. I need to drink some water. I've been talking for a while. Elon Musk has been described by some analysts as a technocrat aiming to reduce the U.S. government bureaucracy through initiatives like the proposed Department of Government Efficiency DOGE, drawing comparisons to a corporate-style model of governance. That happened. Peter Thiel, a tech entrepreneur and investor who has funded political candidates and extreme skepticism about the compatibility of freedom and democracy, favoring a more elite-driven, potentially technocratic future. In general, the individual group described as pushing Technocrat's project are associated with conservative political movements and the use of specialized knowledge, either policy-focused or technology-focused, to centralize power and reshape governments according to specific ideologies. Now, when did it start? Bam. Elon Musk's maternal grandfather, Joshua N. Haldeman, was a prominent leader in the discredited 1930 Technocracy movement, which advocated for a government run by engineers and scientists instead of elected politicians. There is no evidence suggesting Elon Musk's father, Errol Musk, specifically pushed for technocracy rather than reports focus on the grandfather's influence and the troubled relationship between Elon and his father, which kind of makes sense because Elon was also part of that as well. The Technocracy movement and Joshua Haldeman, the ideology was a movement that emerged during the Great Depression proposing that democracy and capitalism that failed should be replaced by a new social order where technical experts manage the economy and resources. You know, it's insane that I go and I remember like back in 2016 and, you know, Alex Jones was going crazy. He was like, you know, they're putting water in the they're putting drugs or chemicals in the water that makes frogs gay and all that stuff, right? So he used to say shit like that. And he used to be like, there's a new world order. There's this shadow government that's running it. And now when his prophecy is actually coming true, the dude is in cahoots. Sounds like he's cahoots with them. Doesn't even make sense. Doesn't make sense that this is actually happening. But when you look at, you know, when you look at it kind of unfold in real time, and you kind of start putting the puzzle pieces together, it kind of does make sense. You know what I mean? Like, why are we arguing about Greenland at this point in time? There is no, like, reason why you should be there. You can make up 1,000 excuses to go there to do whatever you need to do, but it doesn't make sense. Calling Canada 51st state, calling, I don't know, like, doing whatever to Venezuela. By the way, if you look at what's happening in Venezuela, we didn't really do shit. Like, there is no public government. The vice president's still in charge, and it was a total failure. From reports coming in, they don't listen to the United States, so we're not in control of anything. So this whole idea of trying to start something is not going to work. And I'm very concerned. I'm very curious to see how the 2026 midterm election is going to roll out, and how people will kind of like it's a huge like event. Honestly, truth, it's a very huge event. I don't know what's going to happen, how this is going to play out, what is going to be the outcome for all this. But I felt like it was very, very interesting that I was sent that, asked to look into it, and yeah, I mean, it is absolutely crazy. I'll put the map there one more time, man. Just look at that map, and this map was created in the 1940s. This is right after the Great Depression, and this is the idea. Look at it: Greenland, Canada, U.S., Alaska is here, so this is Canada, the U.S., Mexico, Colombia, and Venezuela, and Hawaii. And that's the map. Like, literally cut off from Russia right over here. Like, you cannot come in. And we own all of this water boundary of the Technate. Look at this. And I think the dots are the defense bases. So you have a defense base here that goes over here. Apparently, we have a defense base over here in Seattle, in San Francisco, in Bermuda. So we're apparently going to take over Bermuda. Another one in Cape Farrell, which is in Greenland. Another one in Venezuela. Another one in Guantanamo Bay, in the Panama Canal. I guess we'll get that too. Charleston, Corpus Christi, Halifax. I mean, how do you even plan on doing this, man? Like, how do you plan on like achieving this when you have 8 billion people? You don't, like, people will go crazy. over this stuff, man. Like, I don't know. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, it's a very, it's like when you have so much money, like when you're nearly going to be worth a trillionaire, or you're like have so much money that people worship you for having money, but them not actually doing anything to help the middle class or people, then how? I mean, I think they come up with this idea like we can do this, right? I don't know, man. What are your thoughts? Since I've like put this out there, I just want to know what your thoughts are. Do you think this is what's going to happen in the next 10, 15 years? Or is this something that's just we're along for the ride for this administration? I mean, it is what it is, but what are we going to do, man? What are we going to do? I don't know. But I looked into it. I did a little bit of research. And when you look at Project 2025, I mean, does AI lie? Why would AI? Like at the end of the day, like, will AI actually like say no, it's not actually happening? I mean, does it actually come down to that? But who knows? But yeah, I've been making a bunch of segments, and I really am starting to enjoy making content like this. It's a way for you guys to kind of get to know me, and get to know my ideology, what I think, what I like get into and stuff. And I really hope you guys enjoy whatever I'm talking about. I mean, like, I want to talk about more about things that's happening in this day and age, but these are just interesting topics that were like sent to me by my friends and people around me, and things I've been listening to with other people on the internet. I know Kyle Kaczynski from Secular Talk talked about this, piqued my interest, did a little bit of research. I had a couple of other friends send me like videos and information on this, like what my thoughts were. Did I know about it? I didn't know much about it. I looked into it, and I figured it would be a pretty interesting topic to talk about. After reacting to a couple of those funny videos, or just videos in general of what's going on in this world, because I wanted to be more relatable. You know what I mean? Just give an idea of like what's actually happening. The world's not perfect, but man, can we just get along? Because, I had great, like, Middle Eastern food. It was so good. I love eating momos. That's a Nepali food. I like chicken curry. But I also love In-N-Out Burger. I love Chipotle. I just love food in general. And Korean barbecue, that's like my go-to thing, dude. Korean barbecue is my thing. Like, if we can come together and enjoy food together, why the hell can we not get along in this day and age, in this world? It's a global economy. Like, there's 8 billion people in the world, even more, in fact. Like, we're gonna like neutralize ourselves if this is what we're gonna do. But I really hope, the world comes together at one point and we thrive as a human race. Or maybe we just need aliens to come and bring us together. I don't know. We need an Independence Day. If that happens, maybe the whole world comes together and this whole idea kind of shuts down. Pew, 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 pew. And then we have Will Smith come back and save us all. That's what we need. But I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? Comment, and give me some feedback. What are we doing, guys? What is going to happen? I don't know, but interesting stuff. But again, show me some love. Show the channel some love. It'll help me revive this channel. Please subscribe to it, like it, comment on it, and definitely hit that notification bell. And also check out our News Nonsense More podcast. Team NNM works really hard. I believe I won't be there for the next 2 weeks because I'm traveling to Nepal, and a little family vacation. The All Girls podcast, Arya is going to take over it. Mike's going to be there. And then we'll have Pawan, who will be working with Ashutosh, hopefully, for the new segment for that week. So I'll miss those 2 weeks. And we're dishing out, podcast episodes every week. We record every Monday. We release every Sunday. And hopefully, we'll see Kushmita come back with her own podcast episodes, because she's seen a lot of love from a lot of people. And I believe that, it's a way for her to grow and express herself. and ultimately it'll give everybody a chance to kind of grow individually. You know what I mean? So ultimately, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. But I'm quite excited about this year. Hopefully everything works out pretty well. We grow when we grow together, and I really want the community to, be part of this conversation. So, like I said, man, subscribe to your channel, share it with your friends and family. I need you guys. I need you guys to help me. Help me. But anyways, all right, guys, it's late night. As you can see, it's nearly 2:00. So yeah, this is being pretty addictive. I can talk a lot. I'm getting used to looking at the camera and talking to you guys. So with that being said, peace out. Good night, good morning, good day, wherever you guys are. Peace.